Hello. Hello, my name's Nicola King and I am currently in Uganda working for an NGO called Red Earth Education. So I've been teaching for 6 years, this is my 6th year, and I came out here because it was a fantastic opportunity to work within education. I was trained as a primary school teacher, initially specialising in Key Stage 2, but since my training I've worked in Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, and obviously since being here in Uganda I've worked with a range of children from P1, from nursery actually, up to P7. And the children here are mixed ages in one class. So I really love working with any children. I don't mind what year group I work with. I'm happy to be in Year 1 and I'm happy to be in Year 6. Red Earth is an NGO working in the Masindi district of Uganda, and its main aim is to improve the teaching and learning in this area. So the focus is all on working with teachers and working with children. So we've got 3 projects. One is the Achievement Award, one is the Early Reading Project, and one is the Lead Teacher Project. So my role has been to support schools. I'm responsible for 10 schools. So I visit the schools, I observe lessons and teaching, and then I think of the next steps for the schools and what they need to do to improve the teaching in that school. So once I've identified the area that needs improvement, then I offer training to those schools. Sometimes I go into the school and do small-scale training for the staff in the school. Some other times I've worked training large groups of people, so many teachers coming from different schools. Yeah. So the sorts of training we do, the first one is focusing on the learning environment. So obviously it's a very different environment out here. So we think about making learning aids, making the classroom an attractive and appealing place for the children to be. So the classrooms generally start off looking like this. There are bare walls, very few learning aids or anything for the children to look at. The children are sitting in rows. There is very little pupil talk, and it's generally a very teacher-centred approach. So with Red Earth's help, the classrooms are starting to look a little more like this. There are displays on the walls, there are learning charts and lots of interesting aids for the children to look at and enjoy. The resources are made from local materials, so we use sugar sacks, plastic bottles, bottle tops, banana fibre, sticks, pieces of material that people don't want, and all of these can be used to make lessons and learning aids for the children. Another second one is positive behaviour management, because that's not something that the teachers have come across generally out here. Thirdly, we work on pupil talk and engagement, so thinking of different strategies to engage large classes, because classes out here are generally huge. They have maybe ranging from 50 as a small class up to one of my schools has 160 children in P1. So yeah, focusing on strategies that get all the children involved and talking and enjoying their lessons. So things like partner talk, group work and group ideas for group activities, role play, drama, and making learning aids that the children enjoy using and that they can use in groups or in pairs. So you can see the children are now sitting in groups, working together to solve problems, talking to each other, and being given interesting group activities to work on. The teachers have also been trained in partner talk and pupil talk, so the children are starting to learn to actually answer questions by talking to each other and using the learning aids that have been made by the teachers to help. Practical experience, experimenting, doing, and using the local environment, real objects. Children are also being rewarded with group points, and they earn medals and trophies that have also been made from local resources. So, secondly, the reading project has been an amazing project to work on, because last year it was working with 6 pilot schools, and we basically focused on the teaching of phonics, because again that's not something that the teachers are used to teaching or that they have any understanding of. They were teaching reading through rote learning. So we go into the schools and we support the teachers in planning phonics lessons from P1 to P4, and the results have been really incredible. Children that couldn't read before are now reading, so I've really enjoyed that project. This is some reading training that I led for a group of teachers in the reading project. Here I'm reading a story in Runyoro, which is the local language. The idea was to get teachers reading stories to children in their class. They then engaged in some different activities that we would hope they would do with their children in their own classes. Things like story sequencing, role play with homemade masks, and retelling the story using puppets and even a shadow theatre. We taught the teachers to make toys out of plastic bottles that they then use to reenact the story as well.
Puppy, can you let me in?
Okay, so for me as a teacher, this year has been exciting and it's been very challenging because it's been completely new for me. I've never had to train teachers until this year, and apart from really enjoying it, I had to think about all the things that worked for me as a teacher in the UK, things that I'd seen worked, things that I'd done myself, and then to put that into practice here in a completely different context. And so then having to adapt and change my ideas to make them work, because there are huge classes and very different ideas and experiences that people have. So I've really had to think about what's important in education and what I feel the priorities are, and I've had to teach that to other people, which I feel is going to make me an even better teacher in the long run. And it's something that I'm really looking forward to doing, especially now that I've been able to reflect on things like the fact that actually you don't need that many materials to make an exciting interactive lesson. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming back to the UK. I've been in and out of the UK for five years, so I've had experience internationally. I was working in London for 1 year, but I'm looking forward to having my own class again and building that relationship with children, which I love. Teaching is my life, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it at home and taking everything that I've learned from my last few years back and sharing it with other people and just continuing to improve my own teaching practice. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from you, and I hope that you might have an opportunity for me working in your school.